Hello world. The more that you talk about, the more that you express what's going on in your world that's not favorable, the more that you complain about your current circumstance, the more that you give energy about what's happening now in your current reality. It is like an adhesive. It's going to keep you there. Think about it. Everything is energy. And when you focus on something, it expands. And if you're focusing on your current reality, it's going to expand. It's going to keep you in that situation. That's why it's not easy to shift. It is not so easy to shift into a different reality because it is not that easy to ignore the current circumstance. It's not easy to ignore the reality that you're dealing with every day. But you have to become a master at using your energy to think about the things you think about the things you do want and not the things you don't want. Your current reality is probably the thing that you don't want. And you have to learn and master thinking about the life you do want. Shift into that reality. Quantum leap into that reality. When you quantum leap, you're visualizing yourself in a whole different experience. Think about it. You're here. You're using your imagination. And you can see yourself experiencing a different reality. You can see yourself in that car. You can see yourself in that home. You can see yourself with the wealth. You're quantum leaping. Your physical body is here. Your mind has took you to a different place where you're experiencing the life you want. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. Holding that vision, that thought in your mind. Talking about your current situation. Telling people about the problems that you might be facing. Telling someone when things is not going great. Every time that something might occur in your life, we've sort of been conditioned to express it. To say, hey man, guess what happened, man? They tripping at the job. We're so conditioned to express the negative aspects of our life. But know this, it is like glue. It is like an adhesive that's going to keep you stuck in that same reality, making it difficult for you to shift into this new reality. If you can hold it here, you can shift. And the more you hold it here, your current reality dissolves. You start creating new experiences. You start attracting different people. You start attracting different situations. Things are shifting over here, even though you're here, but you're using your mental faculties to create the life that you really want to experience. So you're ignoring your current reality is exactly that. You know your current reality. You know what's happening here. You know up until this point, this is the life that you created. Because everything is you pushed out. You can't get away from it. You have to accept it. The life where I'm at right now is the life I created. Consciously or unconsciously. It's still the life I created. And if you don't like the life you created, we have the power to change and shift into a new life using our mind. Everything is mental. It has to start here. I used to say it's an internal job, not external. The life you created came from your internal feelings, emotions, thoughts. So even the life you created was an internal job. So the new life you want to create has to be an internal job. It is kind of strange how long we've been taught to fix things on the outside. We never been taught to use our mind to start attracting in a different life. It was all about force. We got to go to work. We got to work hard. You ain't using your mind. You're using your physical body to get things, which causes stress, anxiety, depression, a lot of stuff. When you can simply use the mind to start causing a shift in your reality to attract the things that you want, to attract the people that's going to get you to where you want, to attract certain circumstances that's going to propel you to get what you want. It is not an external job. It's a mental job. You have to go inside. You have to change the vibration. You got to change the way you're thinking. You got to be optimistic. You got to use affirmations. You got to visualize the life you want. And you have to do this consistently and persistently and over and over again till it becomes normal. The life you want to live. And when I say it becomes normal, that you've thought about it so much that it's so easy for you to be somewhere and think about this life. It's like you're pulling this experience into your mind and you're thinking about it, and it's so vivid and so real. And we know the mirror effect. It is big. Everyone talks about the mirror effect. The universe is just going to reflect the way you feel, the way you think, your vibration is going to be reflected. So if you're thinking positive and you're thinking about the things you want constantly and constantly, it has no choice but to reflect that. The universe is not going to say no. And when it comes to creating, and when it comes to the universe finding balance and harmony, it works on this aspect. Say,
deserves Xfinity. And this.
Say that you start shifting and you start feeling a different way, being positive, optimistic. You start thinking about your desires. You start controlling the way you respond to things. You start vibrating higher. Things have to come up to match and balance out. A lot of times we start like that, then we drop down, and the universe is like, there go the balance and harmony again. You see? It's gonna find that balance and harmony regardless. But long as you stay up there, it doesn't have no choice to find that balance and harmony up here. But you gotta stay there. That's the key. Persistence, consistency. You gotta stay there. And everything is gonna come up to match that and balance out and bring harmony up here. Or you can be down here. It's gonna find balance and harmony there. So be aware of that. A lot of times we teeter like with up and down because we feel like things not working. So then we come back to this balance and harmony here. You know, when people say harmony, they think immediately like this harmony is just good. So why would it be harmony on a negative level? Because it's still balance and harmony, whether it's on the positive or whether it's on the low frequency. So we're not going to say negative and positive. We're just going to say frequency. On a low frequency, it's going to find harmony and balance. It's going to give you what you're feeling and stuff like that. That's that balance and harmony. Then you raise up in frequency, it's going to give you balance and harmony right there. That's where the attractive factor, that's where everything starts to play. That's where everything starts changing up here. You already got this current circumstance right here. But sometimes we feel good and then we're like, man, things ain't working. And we drop back down. That's when you're going to find that balance and harmony. You're going to like go back into the same way where you expect everything to be. You expect the negative things to happen. You're in this negative vibration. Things are not working out. Man, if it ain't one thing, this another. That's your harmony. That's what you sort of been going through. Because I remember that. I remember teetering, I guess, or up and down like a seesaw. I remember going through that process. And soon as I would drop back down, it wasn't a struggle. It was like, soon as I would like go through and be like, man, shoot, I was right back down in my vibrational match with everything. But the more I held this frequency, the more I was writing in my gratitude journal, controlling my vibration, asking myself every day, how can I be better than I was yesterday? And I kept doing it over and over and over again. The universe brought harmony and balance up here. Then it was normal for me to be this person. It was normal for me to be in an attitude of gratitude. It was normal for me to be a giving person. It was normal for me to attract all these different situations and good experiences in my life because I held I stayed strong to that frequency up there, and everything was brought up to match that. So your world or your experiencing that you having is just a reflection of your mental of what's going on inside. So within, so without. Whatever's happening in here is just a reflection out there. Your thoughts, your actions, the way you feel about money is a reflection out there. The things you have deals with your belief and is reflected out there. If you don't believe you deserve enough money, then you only believe that this amount, that's exactly what you got. Everything is reflected from the inside, is mirrored from your internal state. So above, so below. Your mental affects your physical and how you push things out. So we have to go through this process of focusing more on what we do want, less of what we don't want. I've used quite a few exercises. Like I had got to the point to where I was like, at one point I have to start doing the work. This was years ago. At one point I was like, I gotta start doing the work. I couldn't just have this feeling like, oh, if I do this, things are gonna happen. No, you really have to start implementing exercises and doing the work to get the results. You know, if you don't like what you're harvesting, you know, you gotta plant different seeds and you gotta water those seeds. And when it comes to watering the seeds, you have to consistently think about it. That's watering the seeds, consistently controlling your vibration, not let things affect you so much so your vibration doesn't go. You at one point you have to step in and do the work, and ignoring your current reality is pretty big because your current reality is not what you want. If your current reality is everything that you wanted, you probably wouldn't be here or be watching or tuning in to different things because your current reality is exactly how you want it. And if it's what you wanted, what would be the reasoning to change it? So we're here because we want to experience a different reality. And to experience a different reality, we gotta ignore the current reality and consistently visualize and expect and project a different reality. But the more you practice it, the more that you get tapped in, tuned in, and turned on to this universe and how it works, the more you're going to create this reality that you want. I say that it is challenging and easy in a way. It's challenging to get to a point to where you're controlling your vibration. It's challenging a little bit to step into this new way of thinking is challenging in a way to be consistent and focused when we're not used to working with the mind and stuff. It is challenging. But when I say it's easy in a way that the way I take it is like, I just gotta do work on my mind. It's nothing physical that I'm doing. When we're so used to doing physical stuff to get the things that we want, because we show not attracting it, we're just physically forcing and stuff like that. But after a while, it's like, once you grasp the understanding, it's like, this is easy. I just gotta focus on the things I want and visualize the things I want and control my vibration to not let things affect me. And I'm gonna build this attractor factor, and I'm gonna align with the frequency of the thing I want. Everything is energy, man. Everything is energy expressed in different forms. How I know? Because everything is made up of the same particles. And everything is vibrating. And if everything is vibrating, it's giving off a frequency. So the world we live in is not physical. It is mental, spiritual. It is dealing with the higher faculty, dealing in a higher vibration to attract the things we want. It is not physical. Even the things that you see that's physical had to derive from the mental. There is nothing on this earth that was created or ever will be created that didn't start in the mind. And once you can grasp that understanding, it's like, if I could stop forcing and use my mind to create the experience I want, it's a little bit easier. Soon as I get specific and detailed with my desires, soon as I say I want to experience this life, soon as I say I want to experience that, soon as I get it in my mind, things start to shift for me to have that experience. That's the power of your mind. So we have to practice and learn to hold thoughts, hold visions in our mind and ignore the current reality that we're in. Because the more that we give energy to this current reality that we don't want, the more it becomes like a glue and adhesive to keep us there, because we're giving it energy. And whatever you focus on expands. Hello world.